Hey guys, F1 Fanatic here, and Codemasters has given out not only one Hotlap video, but two Hotlap videos. So we're going to go over briefly both of them, give you my take on both of them, briefly, and then I'll give you my thoughts on when the next Hotlap video could be, and what I'd like to see from them in the future. So, let's get to the first Hotlap video. This is with Daniel Ricciardo around the Red Bull Ring in Austria. So without further ado, let's take a listen. Alright, so you just watched that Hotlap video, the second one that Codemasters has released about F1 2014, with Daniel Ricciardo around the Red Bull Ring in Austria. So, some bulleted thoughts I have down here. The engine, it sounds alright. I mean, it basically sounds similar to the Ferrari engine, at least from my aspect of it. Obviously, there's a difference between the engine makers. One's Ferrari, one's Renault, but, I mean, when it comes to sound, it didn't really make much of a difference. At least I didn't notice any difference. So, moving on. The Red Bull Ring, it's alright. There's one thing, though, that I really like about it, and it's like the fact that you almost get this feeling it's like on a cliff of some sort. Like, you feel like there's the only flat surface is where the track is, and then it's just a steep hill from there. Like, you feel like it's built on a cliff, almost. Like, you can feel that you're higher up in the elevations, and it just seems like the scenery around is fantastic. I don't know, it just seems like it's more breathtaking than the rest of the tracks on the Formula 1 calendar. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. I think it's a really cool track. I mean, obviously I haven't had a whole lot of experience with it, with Formula 1 games of sorts. I mean, I did kind of race it in Formula 1 2001, but that was a really long time ago, and I don't even really remember how the track was, like, complexity-wise. I mean, I've driven a little bit in Gran Turismo 6, but, I mean, I don't know. But, anyway, let's move on to cameras. Well, I did notice the offset T-Cam did make a small cameo in that video, and I thought it looked pretty good. I mean, the good thing I noticed about it, though, is, I'm going to mention this, too, about the next video. The real good thing that I like about that is that it hasn't changed from F1 2013, because we'll even go further back into F1 2012, the T-Cam just was absolutely, the offset T-Cam, and specifically, it was screwed up. It wasn't very good. It wasn't very well done. It wasn't very well done. So, in 2013, they fixed that, and it made it look a lot better, which made me use the offset T-Cam a lot more. So, I'm glad to see that in F1 2014, they haven't even made further enhancements to it, which could have possibly either made it better or worse. But I think it's very good that they kind of kept with the same memo for F1 2013. So I think that's very good, because I really liked it in F1 2013. Really liked the offset T-Cam. So it's good to see that back in F1 2014. But, although I will say, there is one sound in particular, when you watch the video at about the 1 minute mark, somewhere around there, you hear this sound. Here, I'll give you an example. Right there, it sounds like it's like wood clacking against each other. It's just very odd, and my question is, where is that coming from? Like, I don't know if that's on the track or something inside the hydraulics in the car or something like that with the suspensions. I'm not very sure, but it just was kind of an odd sound to hear going across the curb. I mean, it was It's kind of odd, but that's my question. Where is that coming from? I don't know. It's a very odd sound, and I just noticed that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there's not much more you can say about that video. I mean, it looks very good, you know. And I'm honestly, Austria is going to be a pretty cool track to race in F1 2014. I think it'll be pretty cool. So, without further ado, we'll move on to the next one, the next Hotlap video. They actually just released this today, and it kind of really caught me off guard because I had no clue that they released a second Hotlap video today after releasing the Red Bull one yesterday. So, right now, I'm going to show you the second Hotlap video with Nico Hulkenberg around Spa in Force India. So, let's roll the tape. Alright, so you just watched the third Hotlap video that Codemasters released and just released today with Nico Hulkenberg around Spa in a Force India car. So, some thoughts about that specific video. I will say in this video the engine sounds pretty good. It's a little better than the last videos or the last couple of Hotlap videos that were released. I thought they were pretty good. It's probably maybe the, I don't know, I shouldn't really say it. I was going to say it's the best out of the three, but I shouldn't really be judging it because the game's not out yet, so. Basically though, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it sounded better than the previous two, in my opinion. It sounded a lot more, it's got the lower pitch like I've been kind of sort of complaining about in the first episode, or the first Hotlap video that I did. So at least that has shown some improvement when it comes to the Mercedes engine. Which, if you really think about it, if they ever show Mercedes in a Hotlap, I mean, that was Force India with the Mercedes engine. If they ever show Mercedes, then, I don't know, that engine could be a little better. It could sound better than that, you know? Because that's kind of the base, and if they ever show Mercedes, that Mercedes engine could sound a little better on that car, you know? But another thing in there, too, you'll see is, I'll show it, you know, if you zoom in on it, one aspect of the video, you will see that Nico Hulkenberg is indeed in the infamous 8th gear. And I think that's, even in general, I even forget it sometimes too, but I think that's one of the things that's just seemingly forgotten about the 2014 F1 cars, is that, yes, we have the infamous 8th gear. Not 7 anymore, but 8. Why 8? I don't know. But it just seems like it's a kind of a useless gear in my opinion. I mean, 7 was fine, but I don't know, we went from, what was it, the early 80s we had 5 gears, the late 80s had 6, into the late 90s we had 6, and then we went up to 7 in the late 90s, and now in 2014 we have 8 gears, and I really don't know why. But anyways, yeah, you see the infamous 8th gear right there, and yeah, get to see a lot of it in some aspects. And I think there's another part of the video too. You'll see Hulkenberg switch up to the 8th gear. And like I said, I think that's one thing that's mainly forgotten about these 2014 F1 cars, because when we think about this year's cars, you mainly think about, the different engine sound and the turbo and the, and a bunch of other stuff, but you never really seem to remember about the 8th gear, the infamous 8th gear, as I call it. But yeah, so you get to showcase, there's a bit of a showcase in there with the 8th gear, which I thought was pretty interesting. But when you look around Spa, I mean, it looks fine. No imperfections. I mean, there's no real changes from last year. So, I mean, you can't really note any different changes in the track for this year. So, I mean, it looks fine. There's no imperfections. I mean, the lighting and stuff's pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't know any... I never really noticed anything bad about it. But there's another thing that I noticed too, and I'm kind of titling this driver stature. But I noticed one thing about the car, or one thing about the driver, rather. It seems like there's not a whole lot of head bobbing going on straightaways, where, mainly a lot of the time there's turbulence that comes at the driver's helmet that causes a lot of head bobbing and stuff like that, which you see in some games. But it just seems like there's not a whole lot of head bobbing in this game. And I don't know, it leads me to a question, well, whether, is this final, or is there still a bit of development left to do in the game? When it comes to the turbulence hitting the driver's helmet and causing the head bobbing of sorts. That's one thing I noticed about it, and I don't even know, I never really noticed it in 2013, if there was head bobbing or not, but you kind of just assume, because that's how it is in real life. And I'm just questioning whether that is how it's going to look in the final game, or if there's maybe some development still left to do with it, and it's kind of a showcase, just showcasing the car, not necessarily like the increased physics with the car, or with the head bobbing and all that. But I don't know, I find that kind of odd that you don't hear, or you don't see a whole lot of head bobbing from the car, or from his helmet. So, from the driver's helmet. But I don't know, that was one thing I noticed as well. But, yeah, and finally with the cameras, you'll see a lot more offset T-cam. It's a bigger cameo than in the Austria Hotlap. This show has way bigger cameo with offset T-cam, which I think was pretty cool. And it's good, like I said in the other one about the other Hotlap video, it's good that it doesn't look any different from F1 2013. Like I said, in F1 2012, it was just crappy. And then 2013, they fixed it, made it better. So it's good to see that they, kept the same memo for F1 2014, instead of, making more changes to it that could have either made it better or made it worse. So I think that was very good. That was very good that they kept it that same manner, and, leaves me satisfied about F1 2014 so far. But yeah, that's it for those two Hotlap videos. I'll probably put a link in the description for the two, and you can watch them for yourself, even though you watched them on here. But who knows? You may want to watch it multiple times. But when it comes to the next Hotlap video, I'm thinking it could be somewhere around the weekend of the Italian Grand Prix, between September 5th and 7th. That's just my guess, because like I said, I was caught off guard with this Hotlap video of Spa. I didn't think they were going to do it. I thought Austria was just going to be the next one. But given that they did the video today, which today would be P2, the free practice 2 in Spa, and that's my guess, is that they could probably do it the Friday or the day of free practice 1 and 2 for Italy, which would be, like I said, September 5th would be the day for free practice 1 and 2. So that's my guess, could be the next day they release it, which kind of is a segue into my next point, which I would like to see Hotlaps follow the race weekends all the way up to the Russian Grand Prix. So, like, I think, like I said, Italy was September 5th to the 7th. It'd be cool if they released it on the 5th. Singapore is the weekend of the 19th to the 21st, so it'd be cool maybe They follow the pattern and put it on the 19th, and then so forth, all the way up to the Russian Grand Prix, and even do the one for the Russian Grand Prix. And then before you know it, that following week, the game's out. So I think it'd be kind of cool to do something like that where you could follow with the season all the way up to the game's release, and it kind of gets you hyped up, ready for the game, I think that'd be something cool for them to do. I don't know, just a thought. And also, I know it's kind of contradictory from the last video, how I said that I didn't want commentary, I wanted just offset TCAM, but you know what, I might as well say it. Let's have some commentary. Why not, Get some the offset TCAM and get some commentary in there, like in F1 2013, Because I liked how they did it. I like how Codemasters did it with F1 2012 and 2013. Kind of, I don't know, it keeps you into watching the video. I mean, I understand that they're trying to showcase the new camera angles and stuff like that, so you can kind of get into it that way. But I don't know, personally, I just felt like the commentary kept you watching the video, as opposed to just saying, oh, it's just camera angles moving around the car, to put it into kind of a blank term. But yeah, I mean, that's, other than that, all that, there's not much more I can say. But please like and subscribe this video, or subscribe to me and like this video, and also comment about what you think about it, or what do you think about these Hotlap videos so far? What are your thoughts? So go ahead, comment in the section below, and let's get a discussion going on about F1 2014. And as I said before, please subscribe and like this, or subscribe to the channel and like this video. And if you subscribe, we'll have some more F1 2014 videos to come. So, the next video, I probably sometime next week will do a channel update. Probably Monday, I don't know. But sometime next week I'll do a channel update and update you on the tragedies of not having a video card or a capture card to capture footage with and all that drama. But until then, this is F1 Fanatic signing out. See you at the next video. Goodbye, everybody.